livestock or even the jerseys alone that would make the Mayfields famous, but rather a delicious byproduct of raising Jersey cows. Jersey milk. Sold as a side business, the Live Oak Farms Jersey milk was quickly recognized for its quality and flavor, and the demand for it grew. So much so that in the early 1900s, his son T.B. Jr. bought an adjacent farm, and together with his wife Goldie and 45 Jersey cows, they started a small dairy operation. Goldie Denton Mayfield, in fact, was the first to make and market cottage cheese in the area. Cooled with spring water and delivered by horse-drawn carts, Live Oak Farms dairy products steadily gained in popularity. Then, in 1923, Thomas Bryant Mayfield Jr. established Mayfield's Creamery, a full-fledged dairy in downtown Athens featuring ice cream and pasteurized milk. The first pasteurizing plant ever between Knoxville and Chattanooga. The 1920s were busy times for both the Creamery and the Mayfield family, with the pleasant additions of Tom III, Sally, Emma Jean, and C. Scott. The 30s were the growing up years for the Mayfield Creamery, and as the U.S. struggled through the Depression, young Tom and little C. Scott were quickly becoming dairymen. This experience would soon prove invaluable because in 1937, upon his father's death, the reins of the Mayfield Creamery would be handed down to Tom III. He was 18. The Depression years were tough on Tom and C. Scott, but the brothers soon faced a bigger enemy. Both boys served in the Navy. Tom as an aviator and C. Scott in the seagoing Pacific. Finally, in 1945, the war ended and the brothers returned to Athens. But outdated machinery and time away had left the boys in unfamiliar territory. Where to go from here? Looking for answers, they attended the 1946 Dairy Industries Exposition in Atlantic City, and what they saw there would change the dairy industry forever. Paper cartons, automatic packaging, and refrigerated trucks. The brothers quickly realized they needed to get in big or get out. They got in, not all at once, but in a series of well-planned steps. And in 1949, with the downtown plant having reached its capacity, they began construction on what would soon become the most modern dairy plant in the Southeast.
And here's your 2%, Scott.
That's Carl Hutzel and Scott Futrell. They both recently retired from Mayfield's. Carl was in sales and Scott worked in production.
Scott went to work at Mayfield January the 5th, 1948 on a home delivery route, delivering glass bottles of milk. Now, we didn't have the fancy plastic jugs like we have here today, but bottles were shaped just about exactly like you see right here, except they were creamline.
I warned you, Carl was in sales. By creamline, Carl's referring to the way the cream would literally rise to the top, forming a cream line between it and the skim milk below.
You know, you shake it up. You remember how people used to shake it up and they pour it in a bottle? Well, the person that got the first glass of milk really got most of it.
Mayfields, however, through a process called homogenization, soon became able to offer milk that remained shook up. It also allowed them to control the milk's fat content, be it skim, 2%, whole, half and half, or heavy cream. Mayfield soon established a reputation for innovation, and it didn't stop there. Mayfield's was also the first dairy in the Southeast to deliver products in mechanically refrigerated trucks. This meant their products would stay fresher longer. Finally, on June 4, 1957, in a ribbon-cutting ceremony, Goldie Denton Mayfield, with sons Tom and C. Scott by her side, officially opened Mayfield's. During the 60s and 70s came expansion within the plant itself, and delivery throughout the Southeast with a large new market for ice cream, Atlanta, Georgia. The ice cream packaging was changing too. The old lock-in carton was replaced by Mayfield's ingenious Zip and Zip 2. Paper cartons that helped ensure its creaminess and consistency beyond the grocer's freezer. Then in 1981, Time magazine proclaimed that Mayfield was the world's best ice cream. Most companies with that kind of positive exposure would relax, play it safe. But just 2 years later, in 1983, Mayfield was shaking up the milk market once again with a colorful way of protecting the milk's nutrients and flavor from harmful ultraviolet light, the now famous yellow jug. The Mayfield legacy continued in the 80s as Tom's son Rob became involved in production, and C. Scott's son Scotty, following in his father's footsteps, stepped into sales and marketing. Others were following the dairy's footsteps as well, including one of the largest dairies in the nation, Dean Foods, and in 1990, they purchased Mayfield Dairy Farms. The 90s proved to be no different in that more people wanted more Mayfields, and once again, plans for expansion got underway. Then, on October 25, 1997, the Mayfield families, several hundred Mayfield employees, and a caravan of cows arrived in Brazelton, Georgia to toast the grand opening of Mayfield's Brazelton Milk Plant. It was a long way from Live Oak Farms, but T.B. Mayfield's legacy remains through vision, ingenuity, courage, and just plain old hard work. And although many people crucial to Mayfield Dairy Farms are no longer with us, the name Mayfield will continue to bring smiles for many years to come.
Pass out some hair now?